I can't believe it. I can't fucking believe it. Okay, so in the past couple of manga haul videos, I've kind of bitching about the fact that I was always going over budget, so I was spending too much money on manga each month. So I kind of promised myself in the last month that this month I was actually gonna stay in budget. Well, if you just take the budget from this month, all right, yeah, and then you just it just went out the fucking window. Sorry. I think I managed to calm him down. Ignore that. So, hello brothers, my name is Daidarius and welcome to my manga haul video for March 2020. So like the most of the world, I'm actually kind of, self-quarantined because of some stuff that's happening around the world. So now is actually a good time to not at least buy a manga, but at least read manga and maybe just read other stuff, but specifically manga. So as you might have heard from the intro of this video, I didn't only go over budget, I completely obliterated. Holy I actually think, I'm not kidding, I actually think I spent the double amount of the budget this month that my actual budget is, which for fuck's sake. So there is a fuck ton, at least relatively speaking, considering my other videos, there is a fuck ton of manga in here. So I'm gonna start with the most important one, and that is Sandome Volume 4. I finally fucking got it. Jesus Christ. I've been trying to get this volume since December. I actually ordered it in November, the end of November, and then it was supposed to be at my doorstep in the beginning of December, but it was coming from France via Amazon. And then, stuff happened and it was postponed to January, and then they just told me they couldn't find my address, so they sent it back, and then it was out of print. So I've been trying to find this volume ever since, and unfortunately it's not only out of print, the internet wants hundreds of dollars for this. I mean, you can find it a lot of places for like $60 or $70, but that's still a shit ton a lot for this manga that used to go for $12.99. So yeah, I'm not paying that. So I found this volume. It is actually in quite good shape. The only problem is there is a crease back here. Yeah, you can see it here in the light there. There's a crease down back there, and that's it. So I'm kind of worried about the back part of it falling off. But besides that, I had to pay double for this. So I paid a bit over $24, and that is including shipment for this book. But I was willing to do it because it was the only one I was missing from my Sandome collection. So that means that I can start reading Sandome when I've read Solanin, which I will get to at the end of the video. But Sandome Volume 4, the collection is finally complete. But I'm just happy that my collection is finally complete with Sandome. Even though there's a couple of the books that are used, and others are, really good, but who cares? So, Sandome. Alright, next up is 20th Century Boy, the Perfect Edition, Volume 4. So the 7th volume came out this month, which means that I'm still, 3 behind. But I am getting caught up with this series, and I'm gonna keep continuing buying the volumes each month if there is, room in the budget. That was this month, but yeah, that was basically it. And I had to actually push the budget just to get this in, because I just want to, get caught up so I can start collecting other stuff while I'm waiting for this next volume to come out. But at least I have the 4th volume now, so I think I need 7 more to actually be done with the series, but considering they haven't come out yet, then I'm not in a hurry. But 4 down, 3 to go as of this recording. Next up we have Full Metal Edition Full Alchemist number 8, and there's not much more to say about this, except, as some of you might have noticed, there's a 2 on Scar, which is this character right here, and the reason it's called Scar is because, he has a scar on his face. I know, original. But the tattoo that is on his right arm, you can kind of see it here. It's kind of hard to see all of it, but you can kind of get the glimpse of it. Is in fact part of the tattoo I have on my arm here. It's actually from here up here. That is the tattoo of Scar. I mean, it has been modified a bit for my liking, simplified at some points, but nevertheless, this is Scar's tattoo. It is from this series, and actually, fun fact, by the time I first read Full Metal Alchemist, I didn't really consider about getting any tattoos. However, when I saw his, I made the promise to myself that if I ever want to get tattoos, then the first one had to be Scar's. And since then, I'm actually, kind of proud and also agree with that decision, because I think it is awesome. So yeah, Full Metal Alchemist number 8. So we still have 10 to go. And in case you're wondering how I know there's gonna be 18 in total, well, you have this image right here because they already came out in Japan. So yeah, 10 more to go. Almost halfway there. So that is a good thing. We're almost halfway done, which is gonna be like 2.5 years? 2.5 years to be done, roughly. Alright, that was 3 books, but we are not done yet. No, because as I said, I spent a fuck ton of money. Next volume. And next series is Goodnight Pun Pun Volume 2 and Goodnight Pun Pun Volume 3. Now, as I've stated before, I'm buying these in the local store and it didn't have the second volume for the longest time. However, they got new supplies. So, I actually went down and bought just the next 2. They had the whole series, but I'm not throwing that much money at it just, from the get-go. Just kind of want to space it out a bit. However, I now have the first 3 volumes, which means that I'm missing the last 4. So I'm slowly getting there. And again, I'm not going to read this series until I have the full collection, because the collection exists. It is out there. So why not have it all and then read it from there? Nevertheless, I can't wait to read this series because I have heard that the first volume is kind of funny and humoristic, but from there on it's just downhill. And not in a bad way, not that the manga is gonna suck, it's just that it's gonna get more and more depressing or something. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to see what this series has in store for me. So yes, I only need 4 volumes now, so we're getting there. And there's still more to cover. Fucking hell. I mean, this month rivals the December manga haul from last year in not only the amount of volume in it, but also, just the cost of it. I think actually this is the most expensive month I have had while I've been doing these videos. Jesus Christ. But the next volume on the list is Villain Saga Volume 3 and Villain Saga Volume 4. So we are slowly getting there. I mean, there are 11 volumes out right now, and this is the same thing as with Goodnight Pun Pun. I'm buying these in my local store, and if they don't have the next volume, then I'm not gonna buy it. However, again, this month they just restocked their whole department. Jesus Christ. So they had the whole series. And again, I'm not just gonna buy everything at one go, because that's gonna be a lot of money in one single time. So I just went down there and I bought these 2 volumes because I thought to myself, why the fuck not? So again, I'm not gonna read these until I have the 11th volume, or maybe it's gonna be the 12th volume if it's gonna take too long for me to get there. I don't think so. And then I'm gonna blast through everything and just, enjoy the hell out of it, because I am skimming kinda the latest chapters in the series, and they do seem intriguing. The art style is insane, but I do like the setting, so I can't wait to actually get to read them in these rather gorgeous formats and volumes. So Villain Saga. Okay, we're almost done. So I only have 1 volume left, but it also turns out to be the most expensive volume in this month. However, I have found a place where I can buy it a bit cheaper than the online store that I'm buying them from right now, which I'm gonna do because it's gonna save me like 20%. Okay, so the final volume in this manga haul video is gonna be Berserk Deluxe Edition Volume 4. And Volume 4. What can I say about it? What can I say about this series that I haven't said already? A lot, because again, I haven't read it. I haven't read Berserk yet, even though I have 4 volumes in my collection. The reason is, in case you don't know, is that when I get the 5th volume, which is gonna be out in June, if I'm not mistaken, because it's gonna come out every 3 months, these things, then the whole Golden Age arc will be confined in the deluxe edition. And I won't read Berserk until the Golden Age arc is confined in there, because many people, if not all the people in the entire internet, thinks that Berserk, the Golden Age arc, is one of, if not the best manga arc ever put to the page. So I want to read it in these big, beautiful, high quality editions. And then once I have read that, then I will read the rest of it online while I still continue completing or buying these volumes when they do come out. But yeah, I don't have any much more to say about it. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the feel, this leathery feel. It's kind of like a spell book or something, but then again, it does take place in some kind of medieval setting, so it makes sense at least. And yeah, they're fucking big. Just kind of to compare, this is Berserk the Deluxe Edition, and this is the size of the normal manga volume here in the Western world. Look at it! It is insane! It is completely and utterly insane how big these are. So yeah, I can't wait until I actually read these. So I only have one more left to collect, and then I can actually read Berserk, so I'm looking forward. Alright, that was my manga haul for March 2020. I don't know, it doesn't seem like so many volumes, but considering the amount I usually buy each month with is between like 3 and 5, it was kind of insane. We're talking about 8 volumes of manga. And that even considering that I didn't buy a box set. Because when you buy a box set, you get a lot of manga in one get-go, but here it was... Anyway. I went a lot over budget, but I don't mind because there was some things that I wanted to buy, especially Goodnight Punpun, since it finally got out in my local store, and also Vinland Saga, so I can keep completing it and actually get it while it's actually available. And also the series I'm currently collecting as Berserk and Full Metal Alchemist, and of course even 20th Century Boy, because I am that close to actually caught up, so I have to wait, those 3 months each time, which I'm actually enjoying those series where I have to wait for it, because it kind of get the anticipation going, and also it makes room for other series to collect in the meanwhile. Like for example, next series I'm gonna collect after I've caught up with 20th Century Boy or Vinland Saga and Goodnight Punpun, whatever comes first. When it leaves room in the budget, I want to collect Hinotori, which is, I think, Phoenix it's called in English or something like that. And then again, I don't know if it's available or anything. I haven't looked into it. I just been told it's a great series, so I can't wait until I can actually collect them. But nevertheless, so just before I go, I want to give you a quick update on what manga I'm reading right now, because I promised that at the end of February, or before the end of February, I was actually going to read Solanin. I didn't. So what about now? Have I started reading Solanin? No. And again, the reason is that I still need to actually edit my Uzumaki and Gyo. However, I actually upgraded in my editing section of this channel, so they should come out in, I think, 2 or 3 weeks time. And once they are out, then I will start reading Solanin. But I will not read it in the same way that I've read Monster, which was I was just reading the whole thing, and when I read the whole thing, I just kind of collected my thoughts on it, and then I created the review. Whereas here, I think I want to make more notes, just so I have more images from the comic that to throw on you, and also have a more structured review. And it's kind of the same structure for each manga series that I'm gonna review going forward, just so you kind of know what to expect. Like, I'm gonna talk about the art style, the paneling, and also the flow when you read it, but also characters and other stuff like that. And when I actually noticed something is wrong or is great, then I can take a note and then I can throw it into the review. So, But nevertheless, that's coming later. I hope to get into Solanin during April, but I will not make any promises. So, did you buy any manga this month? And if so, what manga did you buy? And do you think that I bought a lot of manga, or do you think I bought not that many, considering that the ones I bought was actually big, more expensive, editions? Whatever you think, comment below with me your thoughts. And as always, until I see you in the next video, remember to stay awesome. Bye! Alright, I need to go sell my soul because another month is gonna come. Oh, fuck, so much money.